You're watching Satluj TV News. I'm Angus Scott in London. The United States' latest attempt to bring India on side against China is now underway. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken will hold talks today in New Delhi seeking to bolster India as a regional counterweight to China and win backing for its position on Israel's war with Hamas. Blinken and US Secretary of Defense Lloyd will join Foreign Minister Subrah-manyam Jai-shankar and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh for annual 2+2 talks India has said will focus on defence and security cooperation. Delhi is part of the Quad Alliance alongside the United States, Australia and Japan, a grouping that positions itself as a bulwark against China's growing assertiveness in the Asia-Pacific region. Washington hopes a tighter defence relationship will help wean India off Russia, New Delhi's primary military supplier. The top US diplomat for South and Central Asia, Donald Lu, said that the US's intention was to encourage more collaboration to produce world-class defence equipment to meet Indian defence needs and contribute to greater global security. Blinken arrived in smog-choked New Delhi late Thursday night from South Korea, the latest leg of a marathon trip that's included a G7 foreign ministers meeting in Japan and a whirlwind tour of the Middle East. India was swift to condemn Hamas and shares with Washington its long-standing call for an independent Palestinian state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he stood in solidarity with Israel. And last month, India airlifted aid to Egypt for Palestinian civilians from the besieged Gaza Strip.
Thanks, everyone.
The conflict in Gaza poses a major challenge to hopes of a key trade and transport route linking Europe, the Middle East and India, unveiled during G20 talks in Delhi in September. India has a long-running border dispute with northern neighbour China, with a deadly Himalayan clash in 2020 sending diplomatic relations into a deep freeze. Their 3,500-kilometre shared frontier remains a long-running source of tension. New Delhi has had to balance its traditional alliance with Russia, the provider of most of its arms imports and now a source of cut-price oil, with growing ties to Washington. And relations with the US are currently strained after its support of Canada's investigation into accusations that Modi's government were behind the murder of Khalistan campaigner Hardeep Singh Nijjar. You've been watching Satluj TV News. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button to make sure you get to see stories as they're broadcast. And of course, if you have any comments or opinions on any of our news stories, please do feel free to drop us a message at satlujtv.com. And we would love to hear from you. In the meantime, thanks for watching for Satluj TV News. I'm Angus Scott in London.